Hey, Audrey, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, John, I'm doing great. How are you? Got my coffee. I'm good to
I
go.
got the coffee. I don't have any coffee, but that's all right. I'm so energized. I don't need extra caffeine. Then I'll be flying out of on top of the moon right now. But I want to thank you very much. So today's series that we're going to talk about is what are the three steps that a buyer needs to make before buying a home, right? And I find it to be very important, and many buyers are missing these steps, right? And I've always uh, suggested for buyers, or at least I teach buyers how to create a plan. And there's so many steps. We're going to pick the top three. So let's dive into that. So step one, I feel for a buyer is to, and it can go flip flop, right? Sometimes it can either be a consultation as step one, or step one could be a pre-approval. I would recommend that the buyer start with the pre-approval. Can you explain more as to what that entails and the benefits of that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's definitely what we recommend. I would say most realtors typically refer the client to us first to have them get pre-approved because if everybody thinks of it this way, it's like the egg or the chicken or the egg, what comes first? A realtor's not going to be able to take you out shopping or really show you things in your price range that's in your comfort zone unless
Right.
you really know your numbers. And I will tell you guys, the online calculators are so wrong. So I can tell you, even I go on there and I play because I see what clients look at, and the taxes are wrong. Because keep in mind, everything online, even if they ask you your area and FICO score, everything is based on an average. You guys, this is not curtailed to you. So the first step of getting pre-approved with a buyer, what you can expect is that we're going to ask you for your income documentation traditionally, right? So this is for a traditional mortgage. So looking at your pay stubs, your W-2s, if you're self-employed, we do look at your tax returns. And then we
Right.
also look to see where is your cash coming from. So we're going to look at your bank statements and we're going to look at your credit to make sure that you can afford and look at your liabilities. So that's what you can prepare to gather is your pay stubs, your last 2 years W-2s and tax returns, last 2 months of bank statements. And it's pretty simple. You know, we'll schedule a Zoom consultation, and that way we can go over your comfortable monthly payment and your cash to close. We will always let you know the maximum from a lending standpoint as far as what we would loan to you, but that
Mhm.
doesn't, that's what you want, right? We'll give you the maximum, but then it's a really good deep discussion on what is your actual comfort level. So you know what you can do if you chose to, but really kind of getting granular with what's affordable to you. Because we can't assume some people love taking vacations or eating out a ton every week, or, you know, there's going to be things and expenses in your life that we don't see as a lender. So that's where we really work with you to get comfortable. So once we have that information, then we can send you over to Don, and he actually knows the right price range to show you. He's not going to show you homes that are too low or too high. You know, we really take the time, and that's the huge difference between realtors like Don and just, you know, going online to things that are just going to waste your time. Honestly, it is, you have to think about it, that you don't want to go with a realtor that's going to shop with you and spend all this time wasting your time when you haven't even really had a proper pre-approval. So that's why I really respect how Don works, is because he does it in the right way and he really helps support you to make the right decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is so key. I mean, and what buyers need to understand, not all pre-approvals are pre-approvals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been in that scenario where on the listing side, and I go and vet the buyer and realize that their pre-approval, the lender has never really had a conversation with them, has never
Yeah.
sat down with them. And in fact, they don't even have any income documentations, but yet it says a pre-approval letter. So it is important to have a lender who understands what a pre-approval is, sitting down, having a conversation, game planning, right? Building that plan and having an actual pre-approval, understanding what that budget looks like. And that's why I love working with Audrey. So it just takes all the clouds away and makes everything very bright and shiny and very understandable. And
Yeah.
that's, to me, is very important, right? So that's step one,
Mhm.
right? Oh, did you want to add something to that?
No, not at all. I would say,
Yeah.
that's what most people do, that they should do is just get pre-approved first. And that way, step two is they can actually go see Dawn. And what do you typically go over in your consultation with them? What should people
Yeah.
prepare when they meet with you?
So what's important is for a buyer to understand what type of market we're in, right? So we have, understanding, is it a buyer's market and is it a seller's market? Well, we all know right now, because of the lack of inventory, it makes it a seller's market, right? So supply and demand. And so that's important to understand. Then we need to understand the makeup. So sitting down, talking to me and having a consultation to truly understand the process, from A to B. After you speak with Audrey, then what happens, right? Then we understand the market, so that way there you can maneuver and find your way through, and what to expect once you find that right home, right? And so before we even get there, we want to understand your wants and needs. So once we know your wants and needs, then we can put a list of properties together, understand what your motivations are, how long do you see yourself in that home, then we can go out shopping. Because what we want to do is, we want to find the right home. At the same time, no, we can't have a whole lot of wants or needs. We just got to work with the basics, right? Because there's just not much to choose from. And when we find that right home, and when we say right home, what does that look like? What that looks like is, if you want a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, great. My questions will be then, do you need that 4th bedroom, or can you work with 3? If you can work with 3, great. Let's focus on 3. If we find you a 4, awesome. And so, we try to make that search process easier. Once we find that right home, now we go through the process of what now? Now we're comping out the property, doing a market analysis, and it's just not understanding what the home sold for as far as the last 3 and the pending sales. We got to go a little deeper, because right now properties are being sold 10-20% over list price, and we need to make sure, are they priced right at the market, or are they grossly underpriced, so that we know truly where we need to be as far as our offer, right? And then once we get it accepted, awesome. Then step 3 is we go through the process of actually getting your loan fully approved with the property in hand. And then at that point, we go through the escrow process. And so that process, that can be challenging in some cases, right? As far as, they're going to do a title search on you. They're going to search and make sure there's no liens or anything. We try to get all that information up front, but title has their information too. And so, Mandy, let me ask you, when I got my license, I had some trouble explaining what escrow was. And I had to create an analogy to get people to understand, what escrow truly is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so mine is, I use an analogy as a game, right? It's like if you and I had a contest of some sort, right? I don't know, what is it that you like to do, as far as fun?
Or as games?
Yeah. I mean,
game wizard here. I love card games.
Card game. Okay.
I love poker. Yeah, I love some dominoes. Yep.
Domino. What? Okay. All right.
Easy to play with the kids. Easy to play with.
Awesome. So the best way I can explain what escrow is let's say, Mandy or Audrey, you and I, we call ourselves domino aficionados. I mean, we're very competitive.
Our official team game name. I love it.
Yeah. And so, and we have a domino game, and let's say we're going to, 150 or whatever the case is. I'm going to keep it simple, but the main thing is understanding, if I say, look, Mandy, and let's pick something else, because dominoes, that's a complex game. Let's say, sports wise, what do you want? Go fish. Okay. All right. All right, let's put it like this. Let's say Mandy is a goldfish champion. And I say, well, you know what? I just love everything about cars. Whatever it is, I can beat you in this and that. So let's say, Mandy we're playing and we have my assistant on the line here, Lee. So Lee doesn't care. She's like Escrow. She doesn't care. We just, we're putting money on the game here. We're putting money on the game here. And so I say, well, let's put $10 on it. Let's see who's the best goldfish card player out there. And we give our money to Lee. Lee says, hey, I don't really care who's winning, but I'm going to hold this until you guys determine who wins. Now, okay, I win in goldfish, and I don't know the rules of goldfish, but Audrey says, well, you know what? You don't have the right cards. I mean, the thing is, we don't agree on who won. So we redo it. And she tells me, okay, here are the rules of goldfish. And now we play by the rules and she beats me. I agree that she beat me. And so at that point, Lee will then give her the money, right?
Yeah.
Because she won. And so that's escrow. Escrow decides whoever, as long as everybody's on the same page, buyer, seller, agents, lender, everybody's in agreement. That's escrow. And that's what escrow is. When we close escrow, that's the meaning. Everybody agreed, escrow then gives the money. But it's important to go through these 3 steps: consultation, and then going out looking at property. But number 1 is that loan. Get the pre-approval is so important. All right.
Yeah, that's a great way of explaining it. Yeah, I know it's so confusing for buyers. There's so many different facets when it comes to the process. So I like how you explained it, keeping it with those 3 simple things. Just get pre-approved, go talk to Don, and then Don will find you your house.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Audrey, how can we get back in touch with you and so that, buyers can start this process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're on all the social media platforms. You can find us, Audrey Hutton on Facebook or Hutton Mortgage Team on Instagram. And you can always reach us at 408-426-8755. Just make sure to tell us that Don referred you over to us because we make sure to give his clients VIP treatment, of course, and just want to make sure you guys are taken care of.
All right. All right. Audrey, it's been a pleasure always. Thank you. And this is Don Mitchell Real Estate Group, and we're here to help you in the process of buying or selling. This is what we do, and we do it very well. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.